Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sammy and Marissa's Husbands. Hope you guys are enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. Um, we'll go ahead and get into a little bit of the agenda for you guys. We'll do a This Day in History, an athlete as always, Memorial Day weekend review, a little best bar draft, some random questions, cover the NBA playoffs so far, and then get down to our pet peeves to close out the episode. Um, so this day in history, May 27th, 1 year ago, your boy got married. Shout out Sam, right?
Shout out.
Shout out Sam, for making me a husband. But but yeah, so that was a cool little event in history, and it probably should be marked in somebody's history book somewhere. Like these kids got to read about this, right?
Yeah, it was a good time. I specifically remember stealing a photograph of Sammy when she was a kid, and it was the only copy, so we had to bring it back.
Yeah, that sounds like something you do. You're a thief.
Hey man, I stick to my roots. I grew up thieving. I'm gonna keep thieving.
Yeah, the thievery is just in your blood. But um, all the memories on like Facebook and Snapchat and all that stuff are popping up, and of the days like leading up to the wedding, and it was so fun. We all went to Carolina Beach. We had that kind of like mixed group of like the longtime friends, like the core group, and then some of my other buddies that I've met. So it was cool. You guys getting to kind of meet them for the first time, and then drink to the point where we barely remember. So we had a good time Carolina Beach that first night, and then obviously downtown the night before, where pretty sure me and Todd got kicked out of uh what's the bar?
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. Yeah, Goodfellas dancing in the cage.
Yeah, that's because you guys were a cage is reserved for women. So
I mean, it's 2024, dude.
not downstairs. That place isn't called Goodfellas anymore. It's called Dirty Dan's now.
Really?
I guess there was a change in ownership. Yeah.
Yeah, but why change the name?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't sell the rights to the name. Maybe they just sold the building.
That's true. Very true. Very true. So yeah, that's this day in history. Great day, if you ask me. Um,
A memory popped up on my phone of CJ whispering in Nick's ear, like really close, like whispering something foul to him, I'm sure.
it was probably something pretty foul. Um, I vividly remember us leaving the bar in Carolina Beach, and we were talking about how it was going to rain on the wedding day, and we were trying to think of a song for all the groomsmen to walk out to for the reception, and we couldn't think anything. We didn't want to do anything too like corny, like how a lot of people do like a dance, but we were just going to do something everybody walk out. And then like the song on the jukebox was playing. What was the song?
Oh my God.
Like it's like rain.
Oh, that's oh my God. Oh, ironic. Alanis Morissette.
Ironic, Alanis Morissette. Great shit. I need to add that to the gym playlist because that pumps me up.
One of the beefs that a lot of people have with that song, and I think she actually got death threats from it, is a lot of that stuff is not ironic. Like it's not actually like irony. It's just like coincidental type things.
Yeah, so I guess they wanted to kill her because she doesn't know what actual irony is.
Yeah, people are nuts.
Yeah.
Shout
But
out Alanis Morissette. She's got I think the album Jagged Little Pill is probably her best album, just nonstop bangers.
all right, midweek episode, we're both gonna have a review of that album. So you guys should
Okay.
check it out.
All right, we could even go through and rank the songs. I think it's probably like 10 songs. We could do our ranking of it.
I like that. I think that's a good idea. We'll have it on here Wednesday. Um, all right, but that's this day in history. Shout out Sam one more time. And now we have an athlete by Tyler.
This is a current two sport athlete. It's actually the guy I sent you on Twitter. Nyck Harbor currently plays wide receiver for the South Carolina Game Wieners. 6'5", 240 pounds. The true freshman last year. He played in all 12 games, starting 5 games, caught 12 passes, 195 yards, 16 yards per catch, 1 touchdown. So he was playing behind Xavier Leggett. So that guy's a freak. In high school, two-sport athlete, two-time Gatorade Player of the Year. He's from DC, so he's not like a state Player of the Year, but he was District Columbia Player of the Year twice for football. Also named co-defensive player of the year in his conference. He was a tight end in high school and a defensive end, so he played both ways. He was also two-time Gatorade Boys Track and Field Player of the Year in DC. Swept the 100 and 200 meter dashes. Rated the number one tight end in the country, 26th best player overall, and the best overall athlete. You know how they do like kind of like positionless players, like. And he just qualified for nationals, posting a 10.14 in the 100 meters and let me make sure I get this number right, a 20.2 in the 200 meters. And for comparison, Tyreek Hill runs a 10.19. So Nyck Harbor's faster than him in the 100 meters at 6'5", 240. And 0.06 of a second slower in the 200 meters than Tyreek Hill. He runs a 20.14 in the 200.
That's absurd.
6'5", 240 as a freshman in college.
Yeah,
and running that.
That's actually absurd. I mean, if anything, I thought he might get Tyreek in the 200 because a guy like that being so explosive, like Tyreek is so quick. I thought Tyreek might beat him in the 100. And then a guy like that being able to open his stride, being bigger. Obviously, he runs a crazy fast 200, but I thought he would get Tyreek in the 200 versus the 100. But he's went absolutely viral for that stuff. Well, I mean, rightfully so. That's actually like cooking. That's just fast normally, not to be just 6'5", 240. Like, it's insane.
Like, imagine you run into that guy and he wants to fight you and you're like, fuck it, I'll run away. And you can't run away.
Yeah, nah. I mean, they don't have weight classes for track and field, so.
I mean, that
fast.
He is insanely fast. And he's gonna put, I mean, obviously since Xavier Leggett's in the NFL now, he's gonna take on a bigger role on the football field. I'm interested to see what he does.
Yeah, me too. That'll be fun to watch. It sucks that he has to play for not the real Carolina or not the real USC. So
yeah, I mean, they kind of get screwed by the name.
But that's cool. I'm interested to see what he does this year, because there's definitely going to be some light on him. But I think we got to talk about it a little bit. Another athlete, Bill Walton, RIP, died today from cancer at 71. Obviously, a great broadcaster is what a lot of people probably know him as now, more so. But I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, two-time NBA champ, MVP, Finals MVP, and a two-time NCAA champ, and just overall like a fun, hilarious personality. So rip.
And he's one of the only people to win MVP and Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah, because he won Sixth Man with like the Bird Celtics, right?
Yeah, when they I think it was their last championship.
Yeah.
He was on the team coming off the bench. Didn't put up like crazy numbers or anything, but like just like if you got Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish starting and you got Bill Walton at the back of his career, that's you can't do anything with that.
No, you can't do anything with that. But yeah, man, knew he was kind of battling the cancer deal for a while there, but it sucks, you hate to see someone pass away. I mean, no matter who they are, but also like a big personality like that pass away. So
especially, basketball legend, this being a basketball podcast, gotta show him some love. And probably the most famous Grateful Dead fan in history, probably, right?
Yeah, I didn't think
At least,
about that, but probably he traveled with Grateful Dead, right?
yeah, pretty famous Deadhead. I mean, probably at least for us, the person that we've had the most exposure to that's a Grateful Dead fan.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool fun fact. I like that. But like I said, rest in peace. But moving on to our Memorial Day weekend, what'd you have going on?
Saturday, I worked till probably 1 o'clock, 6 to 1. Then came home, did some last minute yard work stuff to get ready for the party because we had a surprise party for Corey. Had we had probably like 30 people here. And I had to go pick Corey up and not spoil the surprise. I had to show off my acting chops a little bit. Got here and he kind of knew something was going to happen because I asked him 3 weeks in advance if he was doing anything on the 25th. But I don't think he knew because I opened the door and then everybody was hiding and everybody parked like way down the street. So you couldn't see any cars when he pulled up. Came in, was surprised because, we had everybody. We had Colin, Eric, Ed, Clay, like everybody he was friends with too. So it was cool. And we were here. Everybody was at the house till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Dang, I hate that I missed out on that. I wish I could have been there, but obviously, I couldn't make it. But that's fun. Fun. You had a lot of people over. I'm sure you got a nice little haul of cans.
I got 84 cans.
You're gonna cash that in for 74 cents.
$1.15. I did the math based on the weight of last time and the amount of cans I had.
Hey, getting that side hustle in. You got to do it.
Hey man, that was actually something Mike pitched to me today. Whenever he gets on, he wants to be like the finance guy.
Yeah. I talked to him about that too. We need to do an episode with him. He'll be our resident financial advisor. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is absolutely monsooning at my house right now.
I can hear it.
Like I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you. Like I'm looking out my window and it looks like a freaking tornado. But let's just hope the power doesn't go out and my roof stays on.
That'll be a good way for us to go viral if you get swept away.
That would be nuts. Not really worried about my house too much. I'm worried about my plants. My plants in the garden out there are probably going through it big time. But other than that, other than the surprise party, did you do anything else?
Sunday was pretty low key. Me and Marissa, I actually did some drunk cleaning that night at like 2 a.m, like just to kind of lighten the load. Like just like threw out trash, took stuff to the recycling bin. And then Sunday we woke up, I took Corey home because he stayed over. We got some breakfast at the bagel place. Got a bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup, and a little like French vanilla coffee, iced coffee that I like. Came home, took a nap, and then we went to see the new Planet of the Apes movie. It was really good.
Oh, nice. So you still taking your pick of chimpanzee?
Chimpanzees are 100% the most dangerous. 100%. Those movies prove that.
All right, I like it. Yeah, that's what's up though. Sounds like a nice little weekend.
It was a good time. Didn't do much today. We went on a walk, did some cleaning. Oh, I started reading a book. I'm gonna try and start reading just to like exercise my brain.
Did you think about those that gave the ultimate sacrifice and gave you this Monday off work? The reason for Memorial Day?
Yeah, shout out to my grandpa. Fought in World War II in the South Pacific. He didn't fight in the European theater because I don't think Italians were allowed to fight over there. Bryce, I'm sure will fact check that. I'm sure I'm wrong. But yeah, he fought in the South Pacific or whatever part of the Pacific. Yeah, shout out to him. He's been dead almost 20 years.
I hear you. But yeah, some people get hurt.
No, I haven't. I didn't think about it once actually.
Yeah, some people get butt hurt and they say like, oh, Memorial Day is not a holiday for cookouts and special deals at Home Depot. But at the same time, I mean, those people give the ultimate sacrifice serving their country so that we have the opportunity to do this stuff. So I think, it is rightful. We should celebrate. We should have cookouts. We should have, lawn chair specials at Home Depot. That should be a thing. So I got
I
no
mean,
beef with that.
they fight for your right to be an American, which means they fight for our right to do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, exactly.
So if
Exactly.
people get butthurt, I got 5 inches for you,
Yeah. 5 whole ones too. No half inches around here.
thick ones.
But my Memorial Day weekend was also it's not also we used it as our 1 year wedding anniversary, so we did a little trip. Friday about midday, I was off Friday and Monday. So Friday about midday we took off and went to St. Simon's Island in Georgia. Um, Georgia isn't really known for their beaches, or you really don't think about them too much, but St. Simon's is it's freaking awesome. Um, it's like a quiet beach though. It's not as like commercial as like a Carolina beach or a Myrtle Beach or one of those most popular tourist destinations. So just honestly a lot of homes on an island with some really good restaurants. There's no, like they don't have the boardwalk and all that stuff like other beaches do, but really big beach area. Like the width of the beach is like crazy long, which is really nice. So it didn't really feel crowded. You know what I'm saying? Very dog friendly. Like up until 9 o'clock, you're allowed to have your dogs out on the beach off the leash. So every morning we took Jazz to walk on the beach, and she freaking loved it. She was exhausted at the end of every day. So she had a good time. The beach is like it's the Atlantic Ocean, but it's right there pressed up against the inlet, so it mirrors almost what like the sound side of the north end looks like a little bit. There's not a lot of
Okay.
waves. So we went to some awesome restaurants. They have great seafood. This place Fiddler's, top tier. Like I'm not really a big seafood guy, but if it's like fresh and cooked right, like I'm all about it. But yeah, we had a great time. 10 out of 10. Recommend St. Simon's Island if you want a little like romantic getaway. It's perfect.
How far from your house?
About 4.5 hours from us, and honestly, like if it was just Columbus, if we were leaving from Columbus, it'd probably be 4 on the dot. But since we have to come like all the way around the military installation, like it adds on about an extra 30 minutes. But it's just like 80 miles south of Savannah.
Okay. Okay.
So probably about 4.5 to 5 hours from you guys, about 4.5, 5 hours from me, depending on traffic. But the way I go, like I don't have to go through Atlanta, which I mean, if I don't have to drive through Atlanta, I'll drive freaking anywhere. I hate driving through Atlanta, but we had a good time. Honestly, we'll definitely go back there. Like 100%, we will go back there again.
I'm trying to. Yeah, you don't really think about that you don't think of Georgia in that way with beaches. There was an island we went to when we went to Savannah too, like right there off Savannah, maybe like Tybee Island.
Yeah, Tybee Island is right there off Savannah. I've heard that's pretty nice too.
We didn't do much there. We went over there and saw like a historical site, I think it was like a battle site or some shit.
Yeah, probably some sort of Spanish fort.
My experiences in Georgia have been pretty good. Atlanta was nice. Savannah was awesome. I haven't had a bad Savannah or bad Georgia experience yet.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I like it so far. I think that Tybee Island off Savannah. We've been to Savannah a few times, and Savannah's awesome. But we've primarily stayed in like the downtown Savannah area. But just a nice little like if it's just me and her, like just a beach getaway, it's perfect because we're both the type of people that can sit on the beach for hours on end and just read our book or people watch or go walks on the beach, like whatever. But honestly, like we got up every day, took Jazz on her walk on the beach, came back, had mimosas at the house, cooked breakfast, and then went out to the beach at like 9:30. Left the beach at like 3 every day, went and got happy hour, ate dinner, came back. Like we got a wedding gift of some like Don Perignon champagne. So we were saving it for our 1 year anniversary. And last night, like we waited till the sun went down, went and sat on the beach, cracked this bottle of champagne and just, sat there and drank some nice champagne on the beach. It was a good time out of some plastic cups.
Obviously, the champagne experience 10 out of 10, but what about the taste?
Um, so I've drinking champagne before. Most of the time when I've had champagne, it's just been like prosecco, like cheap champagne. Or I don't even know if it's classified as champagne. Prosecco might be its own thing. I'm not sure, but it's bubbly, right? But most of the time we just have it with mimosas. But we were just drinking glasses of it, and it's kept cool. It kind of tastes like wine, but it's got a little carbonation to it. It's honestly it was solid. I enjoyed it. Sammy enjoyed it, and she's not really a big drinker, so we had a good time.
Yeah, champagne. I could probably count on my hand the amount of times I've had just regular champagne.
Right. Well, I think we talked about that in a previous episode, how many times we've actually had champagne. I think it was one of the early ones. So if you're a new listener, you're going to have to dive way back. Um,
And, just struggle through those first ones.
yeah. The first ones weren't really meant for the public eye, but I think they're kind of funny to look back on. But I had my fair share of alcoholic beverages this weekend. I have my classic beach cocktail, which I think is the best beach cocktail you can make. And it's just, you get a nice big Yeti cup, you put some ice in it, a White Claw, or some sort of seltzer. We had Topo Chicos, whatever the new seltzer is. Topo Chicos, and then you just fill the rest up with Tito's vodka. And so basically, however big of a cup you have is how good you're going to be feeling. But the seltzer, like the Topo Chico seltzer or the White Claw Truly, whatever you use, like really like cuts the vodka taste. Like I don't care how much Tito's you put in there, like it doesn't really taste like vodka. And those things will have you feeling right by about noon. So it was a good time.
Yeah, those Snapchats where you're like, um, I'm in it, and I'm like, it's 11:50. The fuck are y'all getting into?
Those are very refreshing on the beach, and it's not like beer that's going to make you bloated when you're sitting out there in a bathing suit and all that stuff. So those are perfect beach day drink, pool day drink, whatever you want to do. Nice and refreshing. Does the job though.
All right, what we got next? You want to go into
Yeah. So
random question?
no, let's do the topic of drinking. Let's get into our best bar draft.
All right.
All right, so you know the rules. I picked the topic, so you're gonna go first, and we're gonna snake draft. And this is just best bars. And we're really trying to use bars that we've both been to. Not like, one bar that I may have been to that you've never been, because that doesn't really hold any weight, right? So just your best bar. So I'll let you go first.
This is tough. It because you can go about it a bunch of ways, like the most fun bar we go to the most. But I'm just gonna go enjoyment for me, and I'm just gonna go with the opener in Carolina Beach. I'm gonna go with Sea Witch.
Okay, Sea Witch was definitely on my list. And there's something to be said about that opening bar. Sea Witch always has good live music, great environment, usually a little older crowd, always fun. Never had a bad time.
Bartenders treat you right there too.
They do. Solid first pick. I'm also going to go the Carolina Beach route. And it's not always on our nighttime tour when we're burning CB to the ground, but I'm going to take Fat P.
Nice.
I think Fat P is kind of iconic in its own right. And it really lives by the how it's described as a bar. It's just like a good old dive bar. It's sandy everywhere. They got eclectic stuff, things they just found, they put out there. It's a good time. If you haven't been to Fat P, got to check out Fat P. Only serve beer and seltzers though. I think they have wine as well.
Yeah,
No,
it definitely has the best beer selection. They have any beer you want in there.
yeah, they really do, and I think there's something about walking into a walk-in cooler and like picking out your beer you're gonna have.
Is that a beer garden? Is that what that is?
I think it would be classified as a beer garden. Yeah.
Okay. For my next pick, I'm gonna move us downtown. And this isn't a every night kind of vibe, but the vibes are always solid in there. It can get packed though. Like if you don't want to be around people every I mean Saturday night, it's gonna be packed. But you go down there, you walk down the steps, you get some coffee shots, and you get right at Growlers.
Bastard. Growlers was my next pick. Um, Funny story
Great
about
bar.
Growlers. On our wedding night, we went out with everybody. You know, it's pouring rain. Sam's walking around in her wedding dress. All the groomsmen and everybody's still in their wedding clothes. There was a line to get into Growlers, probably 40 minutes at least. And there was line, like the whole street was lined, but Sammy and me are walking there and she's in her wedding dress. So of course they let us skip the line. We walk down the steps and around the corner, and Growlers is absolutely packed. Like it is just elbow to elbow. And like the first person, like I don't even think any of our friends are really in there at this point, or a couple of y'all might have been, but we walk in and you would have thought Ray Allen just hit his shot freaking against the Spurs. And that place absolutely erupted with cheers. Like it was the craziest thing I've ever heard. It literally felt like we were in a movie. Um, so we definitely have a little sentimental deal with Growlers.
I wish I was there for that. I was outside, uh, being a fly on the wall with Nick about to fight three people, and me and Carl were right there, just kind of like watching. And I was like, oh, this would suck for these three dudes with these two big motherfuckers here.
Yeah, when we go out with a group of people, we have large friends.
Yeah, it's nice to know that you probably won't have to mix it up because you got some big scary motherfuckers with you.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, my next pick. I'm a little flustered now. Um,
Getting nervous, huh?
but I'm gonna take another Carolina Beach bar, and I'm gonna take Beach Bums. I think it's pretty iconic. Jello shots, cash only. Everybody hits the ATM. That ATM is making so much money in there. Um,
They're paying their rent in that place just off the ATM fees.
oh, for sure. They usually have pretty good live music. They have shuffleboard, which we always find our way onto the table and run shit. But I always have a good time at Beach Bums, and it's an iconic stop along that burning CB route.
Beach Bums always they usually have a good band too. I know Jam Sandwich plays in there a lot. They're a good little, local band. Dude plays with he plays barefoot on like a rug. Yeah, I like Beach Bums. It's definitely that was on my list. I knew you were gonna take it though. If I took Growlers.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Next on my list, I'm gonna go a little upper class here. I'm gonna take White Elephant or Blind Elephant, excuse me.
Yeah, Blind Elephant. Good pick. I've only been there actually like a handful of times. Um, but pretty cool place. Like speakeasy-esque. Pretty cool place.
Yeah, you walk in, it's got that kind of like it used to be they used to check you at the door with the little legit speakeasy thing where you open the slider thing, but now they got like a little table in the front door. Good cocktails. They got a piano in there. They usually have like a classic movie playing on a projector. Yeah, two bars, one downstairs, one upstairs. It's expensive though. Like if you're going there on payday, you're not going there when you're struggling.
Yeah, good pick. I'm gonna stay downtown route for my next pick, and I'm gonna take Blue Post.
That was I was thinking about taking that, but I figured you would snag it.
Yeah, I like Blue Post. It's kind of a change of pace downtown. Kind of has something for everybody. They got a bunch of pool tables in there. They got the games in the back room. They have that like cool little couch area in the middle if you just want to chill and sit. And they always got Red Stripe out the bottle, which I'm a big fan of going to a bar and getting a unique beer. Like if I'm going to Blue Post, I'm getting a freaking Red Stripe.
Red Stripes will hit you hard.
They will, and it's fun. I like a fun bottle. But
We
yeah,
we
that's my
might get
third.
a guest appearance from the kid. He just rolled up to my house.
Heck yeah.
I like that pick, the Blue Post pick. They used to have, I don't know if they still do it. A lot of those bars do it now, like members only, where you got to pay like $1 bullshit and get the little card. All right. Blue Post. All right. I got the spreadsheet up too, so I'm keeping everything logged.
Yeah.
Yo,
Oh,
come say hey to the fans.
to the fans, what is going on? A Money in the building. What's
What's
going
up,
on?
Taylor? How you
How's
live?
it? Doing great. Having a great day. Happy Memorial Day.
Heck yeah. Love to hear it.
We're in the middle of our draft right here.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Best bars.
Uh,
Oh,
and you made it in time for my fourth pick, so
All
I'm
right.
about to.
let me sit down and let's hear what we got.
All right. I'm gonna stay downtown. I'm gonna throw a curveball. We we go there rarely, but it's probably I have a picture of me being the most fucked up I've ever been at level 5.
Yeah, I've had some interesting times at level 5. Level 5 is another change of pace place. I think that may have changed ownership as well. I don't think level 5 exists as it did. But walking up those stairs, not fun. Um, Good music in level 5, all different kinds of people. Good stuff. I haven't been there in a minute.
I haven't been there in years, probably since that night when we wore those Christmas jumpers out. Actually, I don't even know if we went there. I think we went to the place below it, Pravda.
Yeah, I think we went to Pravda, and we definitely went to Blue Post that night because there's a picture of all of us in Blue Post.
Okay.
Yeah. But all right, level 5. My next pick, I'm going to throw a little bit interesting curveball out there. It's not called this anymore, but Captain Bill's.
Okay.
I think it's a cool place. Kind of a restaurant, but it is a bar as well. They have the volleyball courts out there. I think it's Bill's backyard now, something like that.
Bill's front porch, I think, right? Or is that the brewing place?
There's no telling. All I know is you go out there, you have a few beers, you get to play a little volleyball. Good stuff.
For my last pick, I'm gonna go to a place that I don't go anymore.
Yeah.
But I'd be remiss if I left it off. Mad Cats. There was a time when this bar had the best vibes in Wilmington. Now there's a lot of drugs going through there, a lot of seedy characters. Some guy that called me fat. But I'm gonna put Mad Cats on my number 5.
The only time I liked Mad Cats is when no one knew it existed and it was literally just us and the whole bar to ourselves. It was almost like our personal little bar that we could go to and play pool. Once people started finding out about it and like the crowd that goes there now starts going, I kind of was turned off by Mad Cats.
Yeah, big time boner killer.
Yeah, so for my last pick, it's also a place that we don't really go to anymore. But just for the iconicness of the time, I have to take Red Dogs in Wrightsville Beach.
That's where we would end the night, right?
That's where we would end the night after a good 22 North excursion and dancing, and then we go to Red Dogs and get 40s and fish bowls, And any bar that you can go and get a 40 of Miller High Life is a good bar in my book.
The thing I remember most about that place is when they would do the bubbles at the end of the night, and then you and Nick going to the bar and finishing everybody's half drank beers.
Allegedly.
There's no video proof.
Yeah, that allegedly happened. So a little recap. I took Fat Pelican, Beach Bums, Blue Post, Captain Bill's, and then Red Dogs.
I took Sea Witch, Growlers, Blind Elephant, Level 5, and Mad Cats. I'm going to throw an honorable mention on mine real quick.
All right.
Silver dollar for those Jello shots you get out of a syringe.
Oh, man.
Shout out Drew.
Oh, man. I wish we might have to get a clip of Drew taking a syringe Jello shot and post it somewhere, but that might change the podcast from PG to rated X real fast.
All right. And you want to take a quick commercial break?
Yeah, let's do a quick commercial break.
All right.
Hi, my name's Austin. Do you struggle with depression? Try going outside and not being a loser.
Welcome back to Sammy and Marissa's Husbands, you depressed fucking losers.
Yeah, that was a nice sponsored ad by the kid, if you will. But jumping right back into it, we're going to do some random questions. So I'll go first. What is your go-to saying after you make a three? I know we're both a little bit on the shit talker realm when we play pickup, but balls in the air, just went in. What's your go-to saying?
My go-to is Google me. 100%. That's my go-to. And my hope is that they do Google me and they see my career high is 4 points and they're like, I'm getting cooked by this guy. Yeah, you are.
That's good stuff. I like Google me.
Sometimes I do. Somebody better tell this kid or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's always a good one too. I feel like my go-to is yup.
Yeah. Yeah, really on the nose. Yeah, I made it. Yep.
Well, I like to do it to when how you shoot the ball and you know it's going to go in, like you just have the feeling. I like to say yup while the ball's in the air.
Okay.
So mimics the whole Steph Curry turning around thing. It's funny though when I don't make it and I just said yup, and then I'm like, yeah.
When someone else makes it, I go splap.
Yeah, splap is always a good one. All right, you got one?
All right. This is kind of along the same lines of that one. Who do you think, or who is your top 3 best shooting forms of all time? Can be anybody. You know, it could be someone you know, college, pro, just form. Not necessarily best shooter, but their jump shot form.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, the person that's coming to mind most is probably Klay Thompson. I think his form is just the ideal, perfect form. Like when you teach a person how to shoot, it's like Klay Thompson's form. I think Steph's form is great. He has a very good wrist flick. Like the action of his wrist, like when he flicks the ball, is about as perfect as you're going to get. And then, you know, kind of moving towards like people we know. I'm usually partial to like lefties, the way lefties shoot. But I would say just because it always looks good. So Drew's form is really, really good. But also like Jake Stinnon has really good form on his jumper. So
That's another guy who just asked if he could get on.
Oh yeah, we'll have to get him on one.
Yeah. I'm just throw a name out there that a lot of people might not think about, but Allen Houston.
Yeah, good form. Really good form. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
Big
Allen.
guy.
All right. How long do you think the Great Wall of China is?
A little bit longer than his dick.
Slightly. Slightly
I
longer.
would say I know you can see it from space. That's real, right?
I think so.
Austin's shaking his head yes off camera, so I'm gonna go with yes. But I'm gonna say 5,000 miles.
Okay. So it's 13,000 miles.
Jesus Christ.
I saw something on Twitter about that. So it was honestly, I stole that from another podcast, and they were asking somebody how long it was. And I was thinking the same thing. I was going to shoot like a couple thousand, and that would probably be over. Because I really thought it was probably like 500 miles long or something like that. But 13,000 miles is nuts.
Is
6
that
hours.
is
6
that
hours.
long? Oh, sorry.
No, 6 hours it would take you to fly 13,000 miles on a plane.
Oh, so my question was going to be: is it longer than the East Coast of the United States?
So it is longer than traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast of America.
Holy shit!
Yeah. But it's not just 13,000 miles
Straight.
singular wall. Like there's circles in it. It's not just like one point A to point B. Different dynasties built different parts of the wall, and like it's not what you think it is.
We need to get those guys who built it on the southern border.
Yeah, well,
Just kidding. Just fucking kidding, dude. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, so I thought that was crazy. I thought we had to talk about it.
That is fucking nuts, dude. I think it took like hundreds of years to build, though, like to completion, right?
Yeah, I mean, was it ever really completed? I think, they're thinking of what the wall is now. Like the first dynasty that started building the wall probably didn't expect it to be what it is today. So like different dynasties built it in different areas based on like the invaders that were coming in from that area. So I don't know if it was like a certain amount of time it took to build.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. This is going to be a baseball question, but who? Because nobody in the NBA can play in the MLB. But who do you think has the best chance, current professional basketball player, to play in the MLB?
I mean, I don't really know about their baseball careers, but just if we're just going off looks, I feel like TJ McConnell looks like a second baseman.
Yeah, he looks like he doesn't have a strong arm, but he's a scrappy little guy. Can get to it. I actually I forgot that Pat Connaughton played baseball at Notre Dame and got drafted. So probably Pat Connaughton.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, I forgot about.
I saw him. He was talking on somebody's podcast talking about maybe when he's done, because he was a pitcher. Maybe when he's done playing basketball, he might mess around and try and play baseball again.
I think he got like $120,000 signing bonus or something. I think you sent me that video.
Yeah, I may have, but yeah, he actually is like a legit baseball player, and I'm sure there's a couple other people that probably played, pretty high level in high school and probably could have played in college, if not did play in college. That if they focused on it, they probably could play in the MLB. But nobody really comes to mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick. Yeah, Pat Connaughton's going. TJ McConnell, that's an interesting choice. He's a scrappy little fucker though.
Hey, he looks like a second baseman. I mean, short, real quick, kind of like a Dustin Pedroia type.
Yeah,
Probably doesn't have tons of power, but probably hits a lot of doubles.
he's a ground ball hitter.
Yeah, but
I'll reach out to him, get on here, talk about his baseball career.
All right, last question for the random question segment. The podcast now has a Twitter. Yeah, podcast. Podcast now has a Twitter. But the photo is you deadlifting.
Yes, because that was originally our first venture into the social media world, TEC Sports Performance. So we have 35 followers. So I just switched the name, and then I'm gonna have to switch the picture too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that photo was taken exactly when you got your hernia.
Yeah, that was 100% when my intestine shot out. of my groin. I probably had like 365 on the bar, not breathing, trying the Valsalva maneuver, doing it incorrectly.
Classic. All right, but moving on from random questions into NBA playoffs. So, just what we'll talk about first is T-Wolves Mavs, right? Mavs are up 3-0. Is there a chance?
No,
Okay. No chance.
never been
So-
done.
Right.
Statistically, it's impossible.
Right. So no chance to win. However, do they get swept?
I find it hard to believe that Ant will let them get swept. All the games have been close though, so it's not like they can't beat the Mavs.
Yeah, like the Mavs are at home, which is going to be even tougher. And I think the Mavs are kind of having their way with them, especially when it comes down to the stretch. Everybody's got to play good, but I hope they don't get swept. I hope they make it at least a gentleman's sweep and win game 4. Go back to Minnesota and maybe try and stretch it to a little bit longer of a series.
Yeah, and people are already like writing Ant off, like saying, "Does this affect his legacy and shit?" I'm like, he's still in his rookie contract.
Dude, he's 22 years old. Like, give him a second.
And Lucas and Kyrie are both generational talents, so it's like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what the fuck do you want?
So last episode we did, it was a preview of game 1, and we talked about some lines. So I want to go back through and talk about the lines that we selected and what actually happened. So the first one was Ant over under 28.5 points. We both said over, and he went under. Gobert over under 12.5 points. You said over, I said under. He had 12. So I got that one right. Cat was over under 1.5 threes. You said under, I said over. He hit 2 threes. So I got that one right. Luka over under 3.5 threes. You said over, I said under. He hit 3 threes. So I was right. This is
I,
a
I
lot
think
of
I think you wrote me down wrong.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna go back and check because I think I said under on the threes, but over on the points, and you said that's interesting.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, that could have happened. But for the sake of this, you're wrong again. Then next is Luka over under 28.5 points. You said over, I said under. I was wrong. He had 33. Then we both said Kyrie was going to be over 22.5 points, and we were both right. He had 30.
He had 24 in the first half.
Yeah. He went crazy in the first half. I think he was, had a bone to pick with Ant wanting to guard him.
That first half was nuts. He was making all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, he had to show the young kid what it's really like on this side. Ant was smoked that first half of that game. Like the whole game, he was just so tired having to run around and chase Kyrie the whole time. And that's partially why I didn't want him to try and guard Kyrie, because I knew he wasn't going to be able to do it in the offensive end. Like he just settled for jumpers because he couldn't freaking keep up.
I mean, it's a lot to ask.
Yeah, for anybody. But and then Drew's winner, his parlay he sent us. So he sent us his parlay, said it was a lock, of course. I want to talk about a little bit about that parlay. He had Derek Lively over 6.5 rebounds, which hit. That was a good pick. Mike Conley over 6.5 assists, did not hit. He had 3. And Mike Conley over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists, which he only combined for 12. So Drew's winner was not so much a winner. Sorry, pal.
He's not really an experienced gambler, so
He seems to like throwing his money away.
he's a good guy. Great friend. Not a great gambler.
Not a great gambler.
Seems to be a trend around here.
Celtics and Pacers, that's happening tonight at 8. Celtics are up 3-0, which we weren't shocked by that one really. Celtics just really, I think, have too many scoring options. And Halliburton being out really doesn't help at all. Celtics are favored by 7.5 tonight. Do they sweep?
100%.
Is Halliburton out again tonight?
Doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Do they cover their 7.5?
Yeah.
Dang. So, this game will be game 4 in Indiana. If Halliburton plays, I'm going to take the Pacers with the points. So plus 7.5, because I think it'll be a close game. I think they'll go out fighting. If Halliburton doesn't play, though, I just don't see where they get any offense from.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed in the Pacers, but I kind of figured this was going to happen after losing that game 1 like that. I think it's a totally different series if they win that game.
For
I mean,
sure. They win game 1. They have they put Celtics on the ropes, and it could look kind of scary for them right now.
But coming off, because it's his hamstring, so even if he plays, he's going to be hindered.
For sure. But just having him as more of a, I can't think of the word, but just to have him out there, take a good defender away. But Halliburton, they play fast. He's all over the court. A hamstring is really going to bother him for sure.
I don't think they should risk it.
No,
If he's not feeling 100%, I mean, he's going to want to play.
I'll tell you what, the second baseman, TJ McConnell, might be a good over bet because he'll get some heavy playing time and have to put the ball in the basket a little bit.
TJ McConnell is really good.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's played himself into some money. I don't know what his contract situation is, but
yeah, a lot of these young dudes in the playoffs, like those guys in the Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, and then the guys Nimhard, and I can't think of the other dude's name on the Pacers, but they're playing really well, and I could see them getting paid.
Aaron Neesmith,
and Nimhard, yeah. So they're playing really well. But that's about it for NBA playoffs, unless you got anything to add.
I got to say something. I was doing delivery in Sanford, and the guy was wearing San Francisco hat, so we just started talking football. The Jets play them week 1. Then we started talking some hoops, and he said to me that the Pacers were going to win in 5 games after game 1. And I said, that's a demoralizing loss. And he said, nope, they're going to win in 5 games. And then he just started hammering me with all this stuff he thought he knew about basketball. And I was like, okay, this guy's obviously doesn't have 100% mental capacity. And I said, I'll see you on Thursday. So we'll see when they get swept tonight.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I mean, even saying that if they won game 1 would be a bold statement. But
yeah.
So we'll close it out with a couple pet peeves. My first pet peeve, I have 2. My first pet peeve is not really like a pet peeve, but it's like a type of person. So if you are this type of person, I don't like you.
Hold on. Be careful.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with their sexual orientation.
I don't want to have to bleep shit out. So just tread lightly.
No. They need this. It's called professional development. Okay. So I was in, St. Simon's this week. A lot of money out there, right? A lot of kids on vacation, college students. It's the type of person that always wears one of those golf polos, like a silky golf, one of those brand name polos, short white khaki shorts. They always have their sunglasses on with their little, what's the string on the sunglasses called? There's a name for it.
I don't know. I just went to the gallery. He doesn't know either.
I can't think of the name for it, but there's a name for it, but it attaches to your sunglasses and hangs off your back. And it's probably some brand name, and they obviously come for money. They probably think they, belong on a sailboat of some sort. But those type of people, I just can't get behind.
Sounds like you don't like people who are ages 21 to 29 that come from old money.
Yeah, and just have done nothing to earn that money, and it just frustrates me. They could be great people. I just see them and already don't like them.
Yeah, it's a little classist, but I'll get behind it. They eat the rich, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And then second pet peeve is that Tyler still hasn't paid me for our Jokic bet of him not making 2 threes a game in the Nuggets and Timberwolves series. So I just had to make that known for everybody.
That takes me into a pet peeve of mine. That the app doesn't automatically update my debit card when all my other apps know that I don't have that other one.
Yeah, so basically if you make a bet with Tyler, just know that he's probably not going to pay you.
Don't start that shit.
He doesn't come clean on his bets.
My pet peeve is you. You are my pet peeve.
Yeah, that's kind of tactfully done. I kind of do that on purpose.
You know, I saw that. I figured.
Yeah,
Those, you know. Oh, we do got a couple things to plug. The Twitter at Sammy and Marissa's Husband's Pod. The YouTube, subscribe, because eventually we can make money on YouTube. I think you need 1,000 subscribers to start monetizing your videos, and we have 3, so we're like halfway there.
on the come up, baby.
And 2 of them are me and you.
Nice.
Shout out Ed Ryan.
Really nice.
Yeah, I was plugging the pod a little bit at the party.
Okay, I hear you. All right, man. Well, like always, we're gonna have a little comment box down below. So if you guys want to hear us talk about anything specific, drop it in there and we'll chat about it.
Sounds good.
All right. Peace.